There is a version of your life that feels more real than the one you are currently living. You have felt it, not as a wish, not as a fantasy, but as a quiet knowing that something truer exists just beneath the surface of what you can see and touch. And here is what nobody tells you. That feeling is not delusion. That feeling is data. Bashar said something that stopped me completely. He said that Harry Potter, a fictional character, a boy who never drew breath, never bled, never stood in line at a grocery store, is more real than all of his physical reality. Not metaphorically, not as a poetic flourish, literally more real. And if you felt something shift when you read that, if something in you leaned forward instead of rolling your eyes, this is for you. Because what if everything you were taught about what is real has been slightly fundamentally wrong? What if the physical world, the one you can measure and touch and worry about, is actually the least real thing in your experience? Bashar calls this the primacy of consciousness. And once you see it, you genuinely cannot unsee it. If this is already landing somewhere in you, you found this channel for a reason. We don't do surface level here. We don't repackage the same 5 law of attraction tips in a new font. We go into the actual architecture of how reality works, using Bashar's teachings as the map. Hit subscribe, leave a comment, become part of this. You belong here. Now, let's go somewhere most channels are afraid to take you. You have been told, probably your entire life, that physical reality is the baseline. It is the ground floor. It is the thing you return to after the dream, after the meditation, after the visualization. You close your eyes, you visit something beautiful, and then you open them, and there is your actual life, your bank account, your relationship, your body, your circumstances, waiting to be changed. The spiritual practice in this model is a tool you use on the physical world. You work on your beliefs so that physical reality shifts. You raise your vibration so that physical things arrive. The physical is the target. The frequency is the method. That model is not wrong, but it is incomplete. And the incompleteness is exactly why so many of you, doing the work, doing it sincerely for years, still feel like you are pressing your hands against glass. Here is what Bashar is actually pointing to. Physical reality is not the baseline. It is the echo. It is the last layer. It is, in his precise language, the densest and slowest moving expression of a consciousness that already exists at a much higher, more primary frequency. Your physical circumstances are not the cause of your experience. They are the printout. And here is the part that changes everything. The printout is always behind. Think about a radio. The music is not inside the radio. The radio does not generate the music. The music exists as a signal, invisible, traveling, fully formed, and the radio translates it into something your ears can process. If the radio is broken, you might hear static. You might hear nothing. But the signal has not disappeared. The music is still broadcasting. The song has not stopped playing just because your particular receiver is struggling to tune to it. The song does not need you to believe in it in order to exist. Just like that radio signal, the version of your life that you feel is true, the one that seems more real than what you see in the mirror, is already broadcasting. It is not something you are building. It is something you are tuning to. The fiction was always the frequency. Now bring in Harry Potter. Harry Potter has never once existed in physical matter. He has no DNA. He has no location. You cannot hand him a cup of tea, and yet he has an internally consistent personality. He has a moral code. He has specific fears, specific loves, specific moments of courage and failure that millions of people have felt inside their own chests as though they were real. He changed people. He gave courage to children who had none. He made adults cry on airplanes. He restructured the emotional architecture of an entire generation. If the physical is the most real, how do you explain that? Bashar's answer is that Harry Potter exists at the level where existence actually originates, the level of consciousness, of frequency, of vibrational signature. His story is a pattern in the field of consciousness, and patterns in the field of consciousness are more primary, more durable, more structurally real than any arrangement of atoms. The atoms are just what happens when consciousness decides to make itself visible in the densest dimension. The consciousness, the pattern, the frequency, the essential nature that comes first. The fiction was always the frequency. You have spent years trying to change the printout. What Bashar is showing you is that you need to change the signal. This is where it gets uncomfortably precise. Because if you are honest with yourself, and this audience is nothing if not honest with itself, you will recognize that you have been doing most of your spiritual work at the level of the printout. You visualize the physical outcome. You affirm the physical circumstance. You try to feel the feeling of having the physical thing, and there is nothing wrong with any of that. You have been doing the work. You have shown up. That is not the problem. The problem is the operating assumption underneath the practice, that the physical version of the thing is what you actually want. That arrival looks like something you can photograph, but watch what Bashar does with this. He says that your excitement, that specific bodily, unmistakable feeling of genuine aliveness, is not a response to what is real. It is the signal of what is real. Your excitement is your higher self communicating frequency to you. It is not pointing at a future physical event. It is telling you that you are in this moment resonant with a version of reality that already fully exists in consciousness. Your excitement is the tuning fork, recognizing its frequency. Think of a tuning fork. Strike an A and hold it near another tuning fork tuned to A. The second one begins to vibrate, without being touched. Not because of proximity, not because of effort, because resonance is recognition. The second fork doesn't decide to respond. It simply is that frequency, and frequency finds itself. Just like that tuning fork, when you feel genuine excitement, not performed excitement, not forced positivity, but the real thing, the thing that makes you feel slightly more awake. You are not manufacturing a vibration. You are recognizing a frequency that matches your essential nature. You are the second fork. The reality you want is the first. The physics takes care of the rest. This is why Bashar says to follow your excitement with no attachment to the outcome. Not because detachment is spiritually virtuous, but because the outcome you are imagining is a physical level translation of something that exists at a much higher resolution in consciousness. When you demand a specific physical form, you are telling the universe, only give me the low resolution version. You are shrinking the signal to fit the printout. For me, this clicked not as a concept, but as a memory. There was a period in my life where I was rigidly visualizing a very specific outcome, the exact shape of something I wanted, and I would sit in those visualizations and feel nothing. It was hollow. Meanwhile, something entirely different was pulling at me with so much aliveness that I kept pushing it away because it didn't look like the version I had decided was correct. I kept choosing the logical map over the actual signal. I kept choosing the printout I wanted over the frequency that was real. The fiction was always the frequency. Here is what this means practically, not as philosophy, as something you can do today. Stop asking, how do I make this physical thing appear? Start asking, what is the frequency of the version of me for whom this is already true? And what does that version of me feel like to be? That is a different question, a completely different orientation, because you are not trying to attract something from the outside. You are not waiting for the universe to deliver. You are choosing to tune. You are choosing right now, in this moment, with nothing physical having changed yet, to be the version of yourself who is already resonant with the reality you recognize as true. Think of a GPS. You put in the destination before you leave the driveway. You do not wait until you can see the destination to enter it. You do not wait until the road is visible. You declare the destination from where you are, and the system recalculates in real time, step by step, one instruction at a time. You are not given the whole route at once. You are given the next turn. Just like the GPS, your job is not to see the whole physical path from here to there. Your job is to declare the frequency, to be the self who already knows where they're going, and then to follow the next instruction that aliveness gives you. The path builds itself as you move. The version of your life that feels more real than the one you're living is not a fantasy. It is not wishful thinking. It is not something you have to construct piece by piece from the available materials of your current physical reality. It is a frequency. It exists right now in consciousness, fully formed, exactly as alive as Harry Potter is alive, which, according to Bashar, is more alive than the chair you are sitting in. You have been asking, why hasn't it manifested yet? But that is the wrong question. That question assumes the physical arrival is the confirmation of reality. It isn't. The confirmation of reality is the resonance you feel in your body when you are aligned with what is true. The physical arrival is just the echo, and echoes by definition come after the sound. This is not about effort. It is about frequency. This is not about building. It is about tuning. This is not about what you can see. It is about what you already know. You have felt it. That version of you, the one living inside the frequency of what you know is true, has been broadcasting this entire time. You didn't miss it. You haven't failed. You have simply been looking for the signal in the printout, and the signal was never there. It was always upstream. It was always in the consciousness you bring to the moment before any physical thing moves. The physical world is not the stage. It is the applause. Harry Potter never needed to be physical to be real. He only needed to be a pattern in consciousness, resonant and coherent and true. And look what he created in the physical world. Look how many rooms he lit up. You are that pattern. Your desire, your excitement, your knowing. That is a frequency in consciousness, fully formed, already real. The only question left is whether you are willing to be that real. The fiction was always the frequency, and you are the story that is already true.